The concept is, the subject title is embedded systems. Here we are going to discuss today the beginning of model number 5. So here we are going to talk about the real-time operating system, RTOS, and IDE for embedded system design, the environment supported for designing the embedded system. So what are these operating systems and the development environments? Here we are going to cover the concepts like operating system basics, the types of operating systems, the task, process, and threads, the thread preemption, the preemptive task scheduling techniques, task communication, then task synchronization issues, then how to choose an real-time operating system. Then we have integration and testing of the embedded hardware and firmware, the embedded system development environment. Then we have the disassembler, the decompiler. I am not audible. Okay, mic is on.
You're audible, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Now, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So here it is a concept about the disassembler and a decompiler. Then comes the simulators, emulators, and debugging techniques. And this model number 5, it is a little bit lengthy compared to your previous two models. Model number 3, then model number 4, they are with a few concepts, but here the model number 5, it is a bit lengthy. Instead of only one model, it should be 1.5 model according to the frame. But as per VTU syllabus, they have kept all the concepts in only one model, RTOS and IDE for embedded design. So here we begin with, once again, whatever we are going to discuss here, it is the only introduction part. We are not going to discuss in depth. Okay, in depth once again in the OS operating system. Once you took, there is a special subject for you, separate subject. Maybe it is in this semester, or maybe in as an elective, or maybe it is in higher semesters. So RTOS as well as the operating system, there is a separate subject is there. So for in-depth concept, but here we are going to discuss only the introduction part of all these concepts. So let us go for what are these operating system basics. The operating system. Obviously, we are familiar with this operating system because we are going to deal with this word in mobile phone as well as in computers and laptops, desktops. So we have little bit knowledge about these operating system. So this operating system acts as a bridge between the user applications or user task and the underlying system resources, through a set of system functionalities and services. So what this operating system is going to perform, the performance operating system, it is a bridge between the applications and as well as the system resource, and it is going to capable to perform some set of system functionalities as well as some services. Okay, so whatever the service, the functions done by these applications over the system resources, those things will be done through this operating system. So in here, we are going to concentrate on what is the operating system. the basics. Here we are going to talk about the basic of this, the heart of this operating system. It is the kernel. So the kernel is the core of the operating system and is responsible for managing the system resources and communication among the hardware and the system services. So what this concept is going to be, what this concept is going to do in the operating system, the kernel, it is the core of this operating system, the main part of this operating system, which is going to manage the system resources as well as it is going to have a communication between hardware and the system server. Okay, means all operations are done by this kernel itself. So the kernel, how it look like, the block diagram of this operating system. Here we are going to observe one layer where we are going to define all user applications. User application, nothing but what? All the softwares, system, all applications. Okay, so like Word, Microsoft Office, or the antivirus, or any application, anything. Okay, the software related to the screen, the software related to keyboard, the software related to the application, nothing but all applications are kept in the layer called as user applications. Then we are going to use number of hardware, and those are all mentioned in a group, and that layer is nothing but underlying hardware. Underlying hardware. So between these two, user application as well as the hardware, both are managed as well as communicated, and they are used by this kernel services. Okay, the kernel services which are going to connect these user applications to this underlying hardware, and these kernel services are categorized into, as we have the managing thing. So in the operating system or in the system, we have various terminologies. So there are so many objects, so many devices which are interconnected to make one device. Okay, so for each device, it will have separate managing strategy. So that management, it is handed over to this kernel services. So kernel services are categorized into memory management, nothing but this memory management, nothing but what? The memory, the devices, the operations and communications with respect to the memory block. Those things will be considered as memory management. Then the process management, then the time oriented services will be done by this, the time management, the file system management, then we have the input and output system management. So these are the 5 categories or services done by this kernel. Okay. Now we are going to discuss one by one the kernel services. So first one, it is the process management, how the kernel is going to perform the management of all the processes done by this operating system. The process management deals with managing the processes as well as tasks. So regarding this process and task, we have little bit some more knowledge. Okay, in future concepts, what are these processes, how we are going to schedule these processes as well as tasks, the concurrent processes, okay, the sequential processes and priority based processes or tasks. So here we are going to discuss little bit more in the future concepts. So here it is the process management deals with managing the process as well as task, which is part of the kernel service. Then we have the process management includes setting up the memory space for the process, means only process oriented concepts will be done in this here, in this concept. So here it is the memory space allocation for each individual process. Obviously, if you go for mobile phone or the laptop or the computer or any computational environment, we are going to observe the system is running with the background processes, like antivirus is running. So for running that process, how much memory it is required, that is allocated by this kernel. Then loading the process code into the memory space. Okay, nothing but what? During the process, we need to load the code in the memory. So that is also done by this process management by kernel. Then allocating system resources. So system resources nothing but the hardware, the memory chip. So because we are going to have the more storage location, obviously it is in the splitted format. So 1 GB, 2 GB, 3 GB, like that. So how much memory it is required, it is allocated, as well as which system resource will be allocated, which chip it is dedicated to this particular process. Those things will be managed by this kernel. Also include scheduling and managing the execution of the process. So how the process is going to be executed, how much time it is required, how to manage that individual process. Because if we come across based on the demand of the user, the operating system, it is subjected to perform many tasks, not only one task. The demand is the operating system has to perform many tasks, not only one task. So based on that one, the management of these processes will be done by this kernel. And inter-process communication and synchronization, as well as the process deletion, as well as termination, everything will be done by this process management. Then if we come across memory management, obviously the process need memory. Then once it is come to the part of this memory, then the memory allocation, it is done by this kernel also. The memory management unit, MMU, of the kernel is responsible for keeping track of which part of memory is currently using by which process. Okay, so memory management system is maintaining its own data, as well as the process management maintaining its own data, but they are separate data. Okay, the process oriented, everything is done by process management. The memory oriented is maintained by this memory management. Then the memory management allocating and deallocating memory space for the need basis. So which process need with the process priorities. Okay, so we come across what are the types of processes and how they are scheduled, how they are communicating in the future slide. So the basic one, it is the allocation and deallocation for memory space is done by this memory management for need base. Then we have time management. Obviously, it is the time reference to kernel is provided by a high resolution real-time clock, RTC we may call the resolution, a high resolution real-time clock hardware chip. Means the time management is purely depend on the hardware chip. The hardware timer is programmed to interrupt the process as well as processor and controller at a fixed rate. Second, I think struct. So after that time management, it is a file system management. The creation, deletion, and update of a file is carried out by this file system management. The creation, deletion, and update of directories, not only files, the set of files is nothing but a direct. The operations related to directories is also done by this file management system. Then saving of files in the secondary storage memory, or it may be in the hard disk. Then providing automatic allocation of file space based on the amount of free space available. Then the memory required for this particular file, the memory allocation, it is also done by this file system management. Then providing a flexible naming conventions for the file. It is also provided by this file system management. Means the processes done with this files and directories all are handed over to this file system management, and that is also part of this kernel activities. Then the input output device management or the system management, the underlying hardware which are connected, which are acting as an input device as well as output devices, the management of those things also done by kernel. The kernel is responsible for routing the IO requests coming from different user applications to the appropriate IO devices of the system. So when the application, a particular user application, want to access any IO device, the routing of that one, the allocation of that particular IO device to a particular application, that is done by this kernel. For an example, if you go for the application like antivirus, so antivirus want to communicate with the IO device like memory, okay, the external hard disk, the secondary storage memory, hard disk. So whenever the application such like the antivirus want to scan or access the hard disk, so means there is a request from the user application, that is antivirus. The request is it want to scan the hard disk, that is an IO device connected to this system. Then the routing, the mapping of that hardware with the respective software, that is application, that is done by this kernel. Then the service device manager of the kernel is responsible for handling all the IO device related operations. So there is a special separate section that is known as the service area. It is device manager, which is responsible for handling all IO devices related operations in the kernel. Then if we go for the types of kernels, here we are going to have two types of kernels. One is monolithic kernel and micro kernel. So what is this monolithic kernel? In monolithic kernel, the architecture, all kernel services run in the kernel space itself. If you look at the diagram, you are going to observe the kernel, all activities with respect to kernel are done within that available space that is known as kernel space. There is no separate space for these kernel activities. They are not distributed. They are in the single space, and they are all kernel activities are done with connected to all applications. Here all kernel modules run within the same memory space under a single kernel thread. So what is this thread? We come to know in the next process, because it is the part of the process. Okay, process is part of the task. Okay, in the next slide we come to know what are these thread, process, and task. Little bit elaborated. So task is nothing but the what activity we need to do, how we need to do. That is the process. Then how to execute that process is nothing but the thread. Okay, so the kernel, a single kernel thread, it is capable to perform all kernel modules to run within the same memory. The major topic of this monolithic kernel is that any error or a failure in any one of the kernel module leads to the crashing of the entire kernel application. Okay, so all activities which are running in a single space, in the single allocated memory space, obviously, if anything happens to one module, the entire system is going to crash. So that is the drawback of this monolithic kernel. Means the simple words, the monolithic kernel is nothing but a kernel which is where a single space memory is shared for all kernel activities. The example of these kernels are Linux, Solaris, we are going to come across, then the MS-DOS, the previous version of these operating systems, that is MS-DOS kernels, are example of this monolithic kernel. Then another type of this kernel, it is microkernel. So what is going to observe here? There is a microkernel design incorporates only the essential set of operating system services into the kernel. Only essential set of processes related to operating system are put in a kernel space. Not all activities of the operating system, only essential. If you can look at this diagram, you come to know here the microkernel with the essential services, the memory space, and essential services like the memory management, the process management, as well as the timer system. Okay, then we have another space known as kernel service running in user space, and those are known as servers. A separate memory location is allocated for the user space, and there we are going to introduce all kernel services related to user space, and these two are connected to applications, because whenever an application wants, it's going to communicate with server, then server is going to communicate with the kernel space. Okay, as well as some of the applications, they may directly connected with this kernel space. Okay, so this type of environment is there in the kernel. The rest of the operating system services are implemented in the programs known as servers. So as we have discussed, then the memory management, process management, timer system, and interrupt handler shares the essential services, which forms the part of the microkernel. Only essential services are run within that kernel space, and remaining are kept in the separate memory location allocated to them. It is known as servers. Okay. So these are the types of kernels. One is a monolithic, another one is micro kernel. Then, if we go for that is about the operating system basic. The operating system basic, it is going to more concentrate on kernel. So kernel is the bridge between the user applications as well as underlying hardware, and it is going to perform some management, that is process management, time management, and some more. Okay, we go for the types of operating system. Here in this type, we have two types. One is general purpose, another one is real time. So the general purpose and real time, we are going to concentrate according to your syllabus. It is purely real time operating system, because the embedded system, what we are discussing, it is having the maximum part is RTOS, real time operating system. So due to that one, the depending on the types of kernel and kernel services, as well as the purpose and type of computing system where the operating system is deployed, as well as the responsiveness of applications, the operating systems are, one is general purpose, another one is real time. So what is this general purpose operating system? The general purpose operating system, GPOS, the operating systems which are deployed in general computing system are referred as general purpose operating system. So whatever the operating system we are going to have in laptops as well as desktops, those are all known as GPOS. Okay, Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 6, all these operating systems, those are general purpose operating systems. Okay, here we are going to observe the general purpose, okay, or general computing environment. The general purpose operating systems are often quite non-deterministic in behavior, means there is no time critical issues. There is no time critical issues with respect to these general purpose operating systems, as we are going to observe here. Just now, 2 times it is crashed. My PowerPoint presentation, it has crashed 2 times. What it means? So we are not going for the deterministic behavior of these operating systems. So whatever is going to happen, we need to accept that one, because there is no time critical thing here. So whenever we are working with the laptops or the computers, we are not going for the time critical issues, or we are going for non-deterministic behavior in this operating system. Then we have used these things, as I told, it is personal computer or a desktop system is a typical example for this GPOS. Example, it is Windows XP or MS-DOS. Some of the examples. The kernel of such OS is more generalized, and it contains all kinds of services required for executing generic applications. So kernel is designed such that it is capable to perform all generalized services. Then if we go for the next type, it is the main concept what we are going to discuss in this model. It is real-time operating system, RTOS. What this one is, a real-time operating system, or the RTOS implements policies and rules concerning time critical allocation of a system resource. Okay, so all system resources are time critical and they are allocated by the kernel to this operating system to perform in real-time fashion. The RTOS decides which application should run in which order and how much time needs to be allocated for each application. So whatever the ATM machine, what we are going to observe, the OS operating system deployed in that machine, it is purely RTOS category. So because each application is running on time critical allocated performance. So the RTOS is going to decide how much time need to be allocated for each application. Obviously, when we insert the card, the ATM card, obviously there is a time slot for that application, the reading process. Okay, it is only time critical. So once the time is elapsed, the process is going to end and the respective input and output will be carried out for the next state or next stage. Okay, so those are purely in the RTOS. Each and every system resource is performing on time base. Example, it is Windows CE, QNX, and VxWorks, Micro C. These are some example of this RTOS, but we are not familiar with these things. But we are considered more knowledgeable about the general purpose operating system, that is Windows XP as well as my MS, like that. Then the basic functions of the real-time kernel. The kernel of this operating system, it is going to perform obviously the basics of kernel operations like task or process management and task or process synchronization, then error or exception handling, the memory management, interrupt handling, as well as the time management. So these are the few functions what we are going to discuss in this entire about the RTOS. Okay, real-time operating system. We are going to study by studying the operations of this, the functions of a real-time kernel. Okay, so in the next class we deal with all these functions. What are this process management about the real-time kernel? In the previous session we had the discussion, introduction about what is this process management about a kernel. Then what is the process management with respect to particular kernel, that is a real-time kernel. We are going to discuss in the next. Then we have how to schedule the process, then how to communicate each process, then if any error is there, how they are going to be handled, then how the memory management will be there, then the interrupt handling. Obviously it is time critical one, so we are going to concentrate on time management. So all these concepts we will discuss in the next class. And this struct in the PowerPoint, it is due to the animation what I have used. Obviously the animation what I have used, it is purely too much time consuming, hence the software, the application, that is Microsoft Office, it is not supporting that heavy animation. Okay, so in the next class I'm going to remove that animation because it is purely time consuming.